War Department Secretary Pete Hegseth announced a program to screen service members for testosterone deficiency, saying that the military's greatest advantage is the individual warfighter. Joining us now to discuss is Eric Lionheart, former U.S. Air Force combat controller and founder of First There. So Eric, thank you for being here with us today. Now, the stated goals here is to improve physical and mental readiness, and Hegseth is saying that the military has a responsibility to maximize the performance of its service members. Any thoughts you have on this?
I think it's about time. I think it's great. You figure for me, when I went through as a combat controller, by the time we're done training, we're worth about $1 million. That's how much the Department of Defense back then has spent on individual training. So now you figure the war, the deployments back in Afghanistan, sleepless nights, the pressure of going to combat, it wears down on your body, plus the gear you're carrying. So now the Department of War is investing in this and increasing our shelf life for all service members. I think that's awesome. I mean, to have more of a efficient and lethal operator out there, it's going to be great for the United States.
And speaking of lethality, Hegseth says the U.S. advantage, the tactical advantage, is the individual warfighter. Do you agree with that? What do you make of this statement?
I do. I totally agree with that. I think it makes you stronger, faster, leaner. Obviously, like I said, the pressures of war and the stress of war, a lot of guys, drink plenty of caffeine and obviously they kind of cut loose with a little bit of booze, which is not good for your system. But now you have this efficient fighting machine. And I think it is going to increase the lethality of every service member out that the United States has at different theaters.
Okay, so I mean, is this initiative, broadly speaking here, do you see this initiative as fitting into the administration's broader emphasis on, rebuilding the military, whether we're talking about readiness, effectiveness, or anything else?
Absolutely. I think they're committed to it, and they're showing the servicemen and women that are serving currently and the ones that are going to serve that they are committed to giving us all the tools to do our job, right? Which our job is to protect our country. And by them basically investing even more into the war fighter, it speaks volumes of this administration and where they want to lead. I applaud the president and his administration for this initiative.
So can you give us a context here, a bigger picture, comparing to the previous administration, your overall thoughts on the Department of Defense back then under President Biden and Secretary Lloyd Austin compared to now under Trump and Hegseth?
Well, I think you can see it just in the little things they've done, right? They got rid of DEI and the trans stuff and all that stuff that was weakening morale. And now, people, the recruiting rates are higher than ever because people that are joining the military are proud to serve their country. They want to go and do what they're supposed to do, is to go to war. And I know that probably for some people it doesn't sound too sexy, but it's the truth. I mean, that's why the Department of War exists. And now with this type of initiative, you're a combat athlete. Imagine all these different athletes you have here in the United States, right? They have nutritionists, strength coaches, everything that you have to do your job. And now they're adding your hormone therapy to make you even more lean and lethal. I mean, it's night and day. And I think people are starting to extend their tours. Like I said, recruitment is high. And yeah, people want to join the military and serve their country compared to the last administration.
So you bring up DEI. Let me ask you a question on that. So why do you think eliminating DEI is apparently what people want? Because if you look at the recruitment numbers, they're joining the military when it doesn't have DEI and joining less when there is DEI. So why do you think it's important, apparently, to eliminate DEI in the military?
Well, the military is the one employer that should discriminate, right? The military, like I said, its main purpose is to protect their country and go to war. So that's why we have guidelines and you have restrictions. If you have asthma, flat feet, if you're overweight, stuff like that. And then in the previous administration, they were kind of this inclusive, anybody can join. And I get it. And I think it's great for people who want to serve their countries. But if you're weakening morale and the spirit of the Corps, then it's not good. And especially in combat units. So now they're getting rid of DEI and some of the other crazy policies that the Biden administration brought in, I mean, it's it just makes you feel proud to serve. You're about to go do your job, which is to defend your country, and it's patriotic, and it's I don't know, I'm kind of rambling here, but I think it's great. You're finally going to go do your job, which is to go to war. At least for the war fighters, the operators that are out there. But yeah, getting rid of DEI was the greatest thing ever. It's the military is the one employer that should be able to discriminate and do whatever they need to do to keep America safe.
Okay, since we're talking about this subject, I want to ask you this. Well, what was your reaction after seeing the Afghanistan withdrawal under the previous administration?
It was a total slap in the face. I think it was I guess I'm kind of lost for words, because you figure all the 22 years that we fought over there, the lives that we lost over there, the people that got wounded over there, and all of a sudden this president takes over, and in 24 hours he just decides, well, I'm going to take my toys and go home, and he picks up and leaves. And I mean, we left so many different assets out there. We left equipment. People complain about some of the people that helped us. We left them there, right? And the people that fought, and then you look at the debacle that happened at the gate. I lost friends over there, and it's you kind of question, like, all for what? Just because this one administration didn't like the previous guy, so they're just going to close shop and leave, and now our enemy has all these weapons. And then the Taliban, the guys that we were trying to kill for so many years, now they're running around with our Humvees and equipment, and I mean, we just basically armed them. So that makes no sense. So if we ever go back to Afghanistan or some of those adversaries in that region, our sons and daughters are going to be fighting with our equipment. So it's just, yeah, it's atrocious what they did.
And it's very questionable that the administration pulled out the military first before anything else. I just want to add that as well. But I'll end with this. Your organization, First There, supports veterans, right? How has the VA under Doug Collins and the Trump administration been compared to the previous administration? What has Trump done for veterans?
Well, it's a breath of fresh air, right? What's the cliche that if we keep doing the same thing, it's just insanity. And this president, I know it's his last term, and he is actually doing something and putting himself out there and caring about. I mean, he said it time and time again that he cares about the warfighter, and he proves it. And now with the initiatives, for example, psychedelics, which is one of the things that we treat our individuals with, it's life changing. It helps fight against depression and suicide thoughts, and it just makes people be whole. So now I think Doug Collins and Bobby Kennedy just joined up together to get that initiative going even faster. So yeah, I think he's actually doing something to show that we care about you even after you serve, that we're going to make sure that you're whole, that after your time that you spent sacrificing your body and your time away from your family, that you're finally home and you're not going to suffer from PTSD, and we're not going to load you up with a bunch of pills. You're actually going to have a chance to be whole. And I don't know why any other president didn't do it. I don't know if it was just unpopular for them or they had other secret things that would affect them. But this president, I mean, whether you like him or not, he shows that he cares. So now you have the hormone therapy while you're in, and then you have psychedelic research and possibly plant medicine that's going to help people fight their PTSD and suicide and depression. So yeah, I applaud this president. I wish I would have served when I was, I wish I was still in while he was our president.
Well, all right, Eric, appreciate your time today. And of course, we appreciate your service to the country and the work that you're doing for veterans. Thank you very much.
It was my honor. Thank you for having me.